I remember on the cover of the album, the whole album, they're saying volume one. Are we expecting? Are we going to expect a volume two?
So, so sometimes what happens is, you see why sometimes democracy had got advantages and disadvantages. Sometimes when you let people vote, um, there are so many other people who are supporting someone else who won't support the person that they've picked or will just be against.
Yeah.
And that was one. The second reason is there are so many people who are so good on social media, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Very
so
true.
many people who are not, they don't have the amazing numbers on social media, but their music is great. So with volume two, we decided, you know what? We're going to go to all these places, meet the people there, audition people, and then we're going to pick who we're going to go for. So we've already started volume two. I actually came to Western Province was the first province we went to,
Oh.
and I've always known Oneli. I've known Oneli for years, for maybe even close to 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be one of the music promoters the time we used to come to Mongo a long time ago. We used to organize these events.
Yeah.
That's how I knew him. So even when I came there, apart from the artists that we had reached out or had noticed, he also recommended some artists, and we auditioned a bunch of people. And then we picked Ozone.
Yeah. Oh, that's the track that has been
So
circulating.
we picked Ozone and we worked on a song called Take Me. Uh, yeah, I recorded my verse there. We even shot the video in Mongo. Yeah, then we went on to a different province. So unfortunately, this one is not for social media. No, this one we're deliberately just going to go there, audition people, and then put out the music.
My next question is on the type of music that is there in Western Province compared to Lusaka and the Copper Belt. Um, According to my own understanding and the observation that we've made, it's very easy, or it's more achievable when you are an artist in Lusaka or Copper Belt. You find that someone from the Western Province is going to have a very nice song, but it's just going to be very difficult for it to penetrate through the market. What do you think is the reason why only Copper Belt and Lusaka artists really dominate the music industry?
Um, so I never pretend to know everything or speak like it's gospel truth. You know what I mean? I usually I just give my opinion
Yeah.
via some of my experiences that I've just seen being in the industry this long.
Yeah.
But also, unfortunately, music has no formula. Talk about 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 because you are working with people's emotions,
Yeah.
and people's emotions change, and music trends always change. So even an artist who's been in the industry for 20 years, they still have to learn because the industry is forever evolving. Right now, the biggest marketing tool for music is TikTok. It didn't exist when we were coming up, when we were upcoming artists, that sort of thing. TikTok only blew up maybe 2, 3, 4. It's been around for like 2, 3 years, like impactful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, even someone like me who's been in, I have to learn, I have to catch on. So I can't, unfortunately, give you like, so you guys in Western Province, what you need to do, the formula is A, B, C, D. I can't, you know. All of the best that you can do is study yourselves, find out what you have, what your strength is, study the market, and then apply your strengths to the market. Not so long ago, maybe slightly, maybe 13 to 15 years ago, everything was made in Lusaka. All the music was made in Lusaka. Even copper belt artists like JK, Nasty D, and all those had to come to Lusaka for them to make it. So everything was made in Lusaka. So when you tell me that in Western Province, you have to come to Lusaka and ABCD. I sort of disagree because we didn't necessarily have to come to Lusaka or move to Lusaka. We did it there. And we didn't make music that is made in Lusaka. Copper Belt. Most of the music was in Bemba. Most of the music had that authentic Kopala swag in it. And because it was different, people just loved it. At some point, the same thing becomes monotonous. People want something different. So even artists in Mongo, I think they have a lot to offer, and they shouldn't try and sound like Lusaka or Copper Belt, because it's almost like now you have something to contribute to the table. But if you bring something that's already existing, then how? All we have to do is package it in such a way that it's easily acceptable or digestible. Even Nigerians with Afrobeat, for example, it's still Nigerian, it's still Afrobeat. It's penetrating the American scene, but they are not trying to sound like the American. But guess what? They are pidgin English. People can understand what they are saying. So it's still pidgin, but they've packaged it in such a way that all over the world people can understand what they're saying and can also easily digest the music. So I guess that's the formula that even us, we used. It wasn't very different at back to accept music here. It was similar, but it still maintained certain elements of the Copper Belt. So Nakumie in Western Province, there's still certain elements that you need to maintain that are Western Province-like in terms of language, the way you tell stories, star sound, ABCD, but you should also make it a bit digestible for the country and the continent.
So you wouldn't agree to say language has anything to do with music from the West not being successful?
Of course, language barrier ila bakofe yako bati. Some people want to sing along and understand what you're saying, but music itself has never been limited by language. Kwade fati akadindula nankan rumba ya Congo tuade umfuafe without understanding a single word. You know what I mean? Even most of some Nigerian songs, we don't understand like 100%, but there's like a sing-along part that that sort of thing. That's why I love that Ozone song. It's because it's got a bit of English and Lozi, and there's a proper mix that just people can sing along at some part. You know what I mean? There are certain things that they don't understand in the song because of the language, but there's also certain parts where they can understand, they can sing along. And I think that's important, but it's not necessarily the language, bro.